Today, June 16th, 2020, is commemorated as the Day of the African Child. The Day of the African Child is held on the 16th of June every year by member states of the African Union, partner organizations, stakeholders across the continent of Africa to commemorate the public killing of school children in a protest against apartheid-inspired education in Soweto, South Africa in 1976. This day also presents an opportunity for us all to focus on the roles of all stakeholders involved in upholding the rights of the African child and to renew efforts towards eliminating the existing obstacles to the realization of these rights. Since the Day of the African Child came into operation in 2002, the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child identifies an annual theme. This year, the theme adopted is Access to a Child-Friendly Justice System in Africa. Access to a child-friendly justice system in Africa. Children could be involved with the justice system in different ways. They could be offenders, victims, convicted for different offenses, subjects to protection proceedings, or involved in a family dispute. In whichever way or situation the child has come in contact with the justice system should be helpful, supportive, so that the child will emerge feeling supported and ready to face the difficult world. Unfortunately, in most parts of Africa, including my country, Nigeria, the justice system for children is a traumatic experience, and the children emerge damaged and ready to turn against the society that has raised them and abused them. My name is Olayinka Olusola Omigbodun, and I am a professor of psychiatry and the pioneer director of the Center for Child and Adolescent Mental Health at the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, Nigeria. Before 2011, there were no formal training programs for child and adolescent mental health care professionals in sub-Saharan Africa, excluding South Africa. And this created a big void, a dire situation in a continent where 50% of the population are children and adolescents, and 1 in 5 will have a mental health condition. In response to this need, the MacArthur Foundation awarded a grant to the University of Ibadan to establish and build up capacity for child and adolescent mental health through the establishment of a Master of Science program in child and adolescent mental health to be housed in the university. And since then, every single year on June 16th, we have graduated a set of students and presented them to the world. Unfortunately, for the very, very first time this year, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are unable to present our students to the community. Many of them got trapped in problems with their research work, and we are unable to gather because institutions are closed down. However, we still have come together to release a broadcast about the Day of the African Child. I must mention that as of now, the Center for Child and Adolescent Mental Health has trained over 135 child and adolescent mental health professionals from 14 countries in sub-Saharan Africa: Cameroon, Eritrea, Gambia, Ghana, Kenya, Liberia, Malawi, Nigeria, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Somalia, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. And today we would have turned out our 7th set. But we are very fortunate to say that we have a very strong component in our training programs that deals with justice systems. And this is anchored by distinguished academic, lawyers, forensic medicine experts, and child forensic psychiatry experts. So our students experience the custodial aspect of the juvenile justice system, as well as other aspects. They go to child courts. So I feel relieved that these students have returned home fully trained to bring change into their countries. The Day of the African Child theme this year, 2020, access to child-friendly justice systems, brings to my remembrance a lot of the problems we have with the juvenile justice system in this country. Across the country of Nigeria, we have 3 categories of children who are admitted into the juvenile justice system: children in need of care and protection, juvenile offenders, and children who are described as beyond parental control. And we have found that many of these children have mental health conditions associated with their condition. Children in need of care and protection, many times they have intellectual disability, severe mental health conditions, and epilepsy. And that's the reason why their parents have abandoned them, because of stigma, or are abusive to them. Children who are juvenile offenders and those who are described as beyond parental control many times have problems of conduct disorder. Many of them have come from difficult situations. They've suffered physical abuse, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, emotional neglect. Many of them have problems with their primary support group. Their parents are divorced or they live on the streets. They come from very, very difficult circumstances. But even when they are put into the juvenile justice system, the circumstances don't change very much. Their environments are filthy. Many times, those who are supposed to care for them accuse them of witchcraft. And there are all sorts of abuses that go on there. And we are saying that enough is enough. Children need help. They need care. They need protection. They need education. We need a total overhaul in our juvenile justice system to make it child-friendly and supportive. Because in this country, we are one of the countries that have ratified the United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child. And most states in this country have also domesticated it. And we appeal to those states who have not domesticated the United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child to do so as soon as possible. Because children have a right to be in safe, healthy institutions. Children have a right to primary education. It should be compulsory, available, and free. Children have a right to develop their mental health and physical health abilities to the fullest. Children have a right to be protected from physical and mental violence, abuse, injury, and neglect. Children have a right to be protected from torture, inhumane treatment, and punishment. And finally, Article 40 of the Convention of the Rights of the Child says that even children who commit crimes should be treated in a manner that is consistent with the promotion of the child's sense of dignity and worth. And that within the juvenile justice system, there should be facilities for counseling, probation, foster care, education, and vocational training programs. And other alternative to institutional care should be available. I think if we join our hands to make a child-friendly justice system, a lot of good things will emerge from that. And we would raise up a generation of leaders in this land that will help to transform things.